What I want people to do is really own their voice and think about the last time it landed with value. Because when you're in that room and you're speaking to your team or you're speaking to a client, what matters most is owning that room. And what I like to say is that the Linda who's presenting today, on a scale from 1 to 10, wherever it is, maybe next year it's even better. And so you want to name that new Linda that you're going to step into, name that new Joe Wexler. This way you can really stand up and own your space and deliver with confidence and clarity. And the last thing that I'll share here is you wouldn't water down a 500 bottle of wine. So why do that with your message? Be brief, because that brings gravity. Let your words land in silence. And so I want to pass it back along to you, Linda, to take us into the next step here.
Excellent, Joseph. So I'm going to talk about executive presence, even if English is not your first language. You don't need fancy words just to sound powerful. You need certainty in your voice. So use short, direct sentences. Short, direct sentences. Land your final word and sound. Now, I'm going to get into my speech geekiness a little bit here, but we actually speak in phrases and we drop off our final consonants a lot. Let me show you an example. Here we have two financial sentences in American English. As I said, we speak in phrases, and the final consonants within the phrase are dropped quite often. But at the end of the phrase, we enunciate that final sound deliberately. Let me just use one of these financial sentences as an example. The return on investment was higher than expected. If we pronounced every final consonant, it would sound choppy. Listen to this. The return on investment was higher than expected. If we use it as a phrase, if we just group the words together into two phrases here, as shown, we would say the return on investment, you hear that final T? Was higher than expected, was higher than expected. So we don't say the return on investment. We say the return on investment. Do you hear the difference there? The return on investment. So I am only focusing on that final T and the final D at the end of the sentence. Also, hold your eye contact with that client or coworker or boss for that extra second. That actually shows connection and confidence.